Good morning and welcome to the newspaper review reaching you live from our studios at High Impact Television. I am Oyin Priye Krumale. Stories making the headlines of newspapers this morning. You have Sunday Igboho moving from the front page of the Punch newspaper to the Guardian newspaper and then to Vanguard newspaper, making all front pages about his extradition from the Republic of Benin back to Nigeria by the Secret Service of Nigeria. But the Beninese authorities have rebuffed that, and they said they are not going to extradite, or they are not going to accede to the hasty extradition of Sunday Igboho back to Nigeria that the international community is watching, and they are deferring to the rule of law. We will be taking a look at that story in the course of the program this morning. Also, the House of Representatives has issued a warrant of arrest for some ministries, departments, and agencies. Chief Executive Officer, the Chief Executive Officer and the Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Mele Kyari, also falls into that category. Godwin Emefiele of the Central Bank of Nigeria falls into that category, and some other ministries. And the allegations against these ministries is that they have refused to submit an audit report to the House of Representatives, which have constitutional oversight function over that particular matter. Some of them, this query goes as long as 5 years or 4 years or 3 years that these MDAs have refused to submit financial audits to the House of Representatives. When we move away from that divide, we take a look at Mr. Sowore, who has actually appeared in the scene again. Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu has declined to continue with his arrest, with his case in the Federal High Court, and also two other justices. This has given or raised the question that do justices in Nigeria, or judges rather, in Nigeria have the unilateral authority on what case to attend to and what case not to attend to. We'll be discussing Democrats and democracy in Nigeria, between the government and the governed, who holds the last voice in making decisions. These are some of the stories we will be looking at this morning. But before we continue, we have back on the line Barrister Fatokoyi, who is joining us from Lagos. Good morning and welcome to the newspaper review.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be with you.
It's good to have you this morning.
Yeah.
Yes, Barrister Fatokoyi, now let's briefly take a look at the case of Mr. Sunday Adeyemo that is currently in the custody of the secret police in Benin Republic, and the effort of the Nigerian secret police to extradite him to Nigeria to face legal charges. I believe you have seen this story. What do you make of it?
Thank you very much. The issues surrounding Chief Sunday Adeyemo extradition is more than what we think. You see, thank God we are moving gradually into a state whereby other nations are concerned with what is happening in Nigeria. And that makes a difference between the way Nnamdi Kanu was brought into Nigeria. And you see, different contrasting stories filled the air a few days ago. Different contrasting stories, and there are principles, there are laws that governs extradition, and there is no way you can just force Benin Republic down with immediate effect, bring him to Nigeria. No. And what offense has Chief Sunday Adeyemo committed? Is he a political fugitive or not? You need to clear that area. What has been the cause? What is the cause he has been fighting for? Self-determination for the Yoruba nation. And this is a man, he which he has applied, he has sought asylum in different countries for his own safety. We all know the stories that surrounded the invasion of Taps. So I think at this time, it is highly, the Republic should be very careful.
Okay. Barrister Fatoke.
I'm with you.
Yes, go on, please. Go on, please. Let me let you land.
They should be very, very careful so as not to fall into the trap the Nigerian government have set for them. And besides that, I think there is an equity between Nigeria and fugitive. So they cannot, they have their own laws, and be very known. That nation on them, and now the lawyer chief as the
okay. Barrister Fatoke, let me briefly come in here, sorry. Now, let's look at it. During the course of your conversation or what you were talking about, you said something like, what are the charges that he has to face? Do remember that the federal government has alleged Mr. Sunday Adeyemo of being in possession of perks of firearms and ammunition in his custody. And of course, in the democratic climb, the government will want to take him up on that charges. Don't you think that will be a good ground for his extradition back to Nigeria?
Thank you very much. You see, they do say you cannot be a judge in your court. And no matter what, the role of prosecution be totally clear from that of a prosecutor. You see, the Nigerian government need to play a role of prosecution, and no matter their findings, being Sunday is still presumed innocence of those leveled against him.
Okay, now, okay, let's.
Clamoring. That is the matter.
All right. Okay. Okay, let's go to another topic of discussion this morning, and that's it's emerging from the front page of the Punch newspaper, talking about the Green Chamber, the House of Representatives. Recently, the committee within the Green Chamber is saying that several ministries, departments and agencies, most especially 52 in number, have refused to present their audit queries or their audit report to the legislative institution that has legislative oversight functions over those audited reports, some of them spanning over 5 years. Therefore, it is urging the House of Representatives to issue an arrest warrant on them. What's your take on that, between the executive and the legislature in appearing in the Green Chamber? They've refused to appear several times that they've been called upon. What's your take on it?
Thank you. In any setting, this separation of power is of high, and the reason why legislative executive as a checkmate. So the executives, instance things like it has been taking time on other ministries, NPC, platforms, and what, whereby they just umpire, putting the national and starts going out, not make thoughts. Committees established for last year started out. I think I must also representative where that democratic set.
Okay. All right, Barrister Fatoke, I may have to cut you short right here. Barrister Fatoke, I will have to cut you short right here. I will have to interrupt you because our network is having some challenge right here. However, I want to say a very big thank you for coming on our program this morning. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
You are most welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. And we are calling it a day right here. Now, let me hand you over to the T.O. Coffee team, Omobolade Oladipo and Adetiloye. Good morning.